Taurus. Welcome back to Starspoken Oracle. This is episode 11 of your Starspoken weekly reading, and today we are reading for Taurus, for the week of July 15th through July 21st, 2026. 2 weeks ago the deck sent you back to what is proven. Last week it made you stop and audit the garden, to measure honestly what grew and what didn't. And this week, as if the deck had been waiting for you to finish that homework, it hands you the reward. Your card this week is the single most abundant card in the entire tarot, and she happens to be ruled by your own planet. This is not a coincidence. This is a sequence, and you are standing at its best chapter. Every week I shuffle the deck for all 12 signs and let the cards fall where they need to, and when your card turned over, Taurus, it felt like the garden gates swinging open. Before the reveal, the sky, because the sky this week is unusually gentle with you. The cosmic weather. We are in the first waxing days after Tuesday's new moon in Cancer, which landed in your communication sector. A new conversation, a new message, a new way of saying what you need, that seed is in the ground now, and the waxing moon feeds it all week. Mercury retrograde in Cancer is in its final week, it stations direct on July 23rd. These last retrograde days are the deepest ones, old messages resurface, unfinished conversations circle back one final time, and anything unclear gets one last chance to be clarified before the fog lifts. For you, that means this week may return one conversation you thought was closed. Let it come. Venus, your ruling planet, continues through Leo and through your 4th house of home, family, and roots. Your instinct to beautify, soften, and feather the nest is at its yearly peak. Follow it, it is not procrastination, it is medicine. Mars remains in Gemini, keeping the pace of life quicker than you like, but the week closes with a first quarter moon in Libra on Tuesday, July 21st, in your sector of daily work and health, the first checkpoint on the habits you've been rebuilding. And just past the week's edge, Leo season begins on the 22nd and Mercury turns direct on the 23rd. The slow season is ending. This week is its sweetest final stretch. Your card reveal. Taurus, take a breath. This week, the deck has given you the Empress. Card number 3 of the major arcana. A crowned woman reclines on cushions in the middle of a ripening wheat field, a river running through the trees behind her, a heart-shaped shield bearing the sign of Venus resting at her side. She is not working. Look at her, she is the only figure in the major arcana who is completely at ease. And yet everything around her grows. That is the entire secret of this card, and it was drawn for the one sign in the zodiac best equipped to understand it. What the Empress means for you. The Empress is ruled by Venus, your ruler. When she appears for a Taurus, the message doubles in strength. This is a week when your natural way of being is exactly what the universe rewards. Not hustle. Not force. Presence, patience, and care. Here is the deeper story, Taurus. Last week's card, the 7 of Pentacles, asked you to audit, to look at the garden and decide what deserves your water. The Empress is what happens after a wise audit. The resources flow to the right places, and growth stops being a struggle and becomes a season. Something you have been tending, a project, a relationship, a body of work, a home, crosses this week from effort into fertility. You will notice it as a strange ease. The thing that used to need pushing starts moving on its own. But the Empress carries one instruction that is harder for you than it sounds: receive. She does not chase, does not grip, does not prove. She allows. If last week was about deciding what to grow, this week is about letting yourself be nourished by it, accepting the compliment, the help, the affection, the abundance, without immediately calculating what you owe back. Taurus gives beautifully and receives awkwardly. This week, practice the second one. Areas of life. In love, the Empress is one of the finest cards you can draw. If you are in a relationship, this week wants warmth made tangible. Cook the meal, make the bed beautiful, touch more, plan nothing and enjoy everything. Venus in your home sector says love deepens indoors right now. A soft week at home will do more for your bond than any grand gesture. If you are single, notice who makes you feel calm rather than electric. The Empress attracts by being fully herself, at ease, and someone this week responds precisely to that ease. In work and career, stop pushing the growing things. Your projects this week respond to tending, not forcing. Refine, polish, nurture the client relationship, improve the craft. Creative work is especially blessed. Anything you make with your hands or your senses carries extra power. If a returning conversation from the retrograde brings back an old opportunity, receive it with fresh eyes. It may have ripened while it was away. In money, the Empress is abundance, but abundance as fertility, not windfall. Money grows where you have been steadily tending it. This is a beautiful week to review what your audit revealed and reallocate, feed the account, the skill, or the investment that showed real roots. One gentle warning: comfort spending disguised as self-care. The Empress buys quality that lasts, not volume that soothes. In health, this card is explicitly about the body, pleasure as medicine. Eat real food slowly. Sleep generously. Walk in green places. The Empress lives in a field, not an office. If you have been rebuilding routines, Tuesday's first quarter moon will test them exactly once, a busy day that tempts you to skip. Don't skip, bend. A shorter version of the habit still counts. Your week, day by day. Wednesday, July 15th, opens gently, set the tone deliberately. Fresh food in the house, one corner of your home made beautiful. It sounds small, it is the whole card. Thursday the 16th favors the returning conversation. If an old message or person resurfaces, hear them out fully before deciding anything. Friday the 17th is your creation day, the strongest of the week. Make something with your hands, cook, plant, build, draw, arrange. What you create on Friday carries the Empress's signature. Saturday the 18th belongs to love and home. Host, nest, share a table. If you do one social thing this week, do it at home. Sunday the 19th, receive, let someone do something for you and accept it cleanly, with nothing but thanks. Notice how hard that is, and do it anyway. Monday the 20th, look at the garden with your auditor's eye one last time before the season changes. One thing will visibly have grown since last week. Acknowledge it out loud. And Tuesday the 21st, the first quarter moon checks your daily rhythms, protect the morning routine, bend but don't break, and end the day outdoors if you can. 3 journal prompts for the week. What in my life is finally growing on its own, without my pushing? Where did I learn that receiving is dangerous, and what would it feel like to unlearn it for 1 week? And what does enough actually look like for me, in money, in love, in comfort? Your weekly guidance. Here is your concrete assignment, Taurus. This week, create 1 thing and receive 1 thing. The creation, something physical, sensory, made with your own hands before Sunday, a meal for people you love, a planted pot, a rearranged room, a finished handmade thing. Not for productivity. For fertility. The reception, 1 act of letting in, accept the offer of help, the compliment, the gift, the affection, without deflecting, without reciprocating within the hour, without earning it. Just thank you, full stop. The Empress teaches that receiving is not taking, it is completing the circle that lets abundance keep moving. Do both before Tuesday's first quarter moon, and you will feel the week click into place. And watch for a sign, something you planted long ago, literally or figuratively, showing you unexpected fruit. That is the card telling you the season has turned in your favor. Closing. So that is your week, Taurus. The Empress, abundance through ease, growth through tending, and the quiet discipline of letting good things in. Your affirmation for this week, say it out loud if you can. I am fertile ground. What I tend grows, what I receive completes me, and abundance moves through my life as naturally as a season. Carry that with you, especially on Sunday when the receiving gets real. If this reading resonated, tap the like button so the algorithm shows Taurus readings to the Taurus souls who need them. And tell me in the comments, what is the 1 thing growing in your life right now that you almost gave up on? I read every comment. And subscribe so you don't miss episode 12. It drops next Wednesday, the first reading of Leo season, with Mercury finally direct. The whole sky changes tone, and your next card builds directly on this one. Trust the timing. The stars have spoken.